Hey guys, People Close Game is back direct to Supergirl Season 2, Episode 2, The Last Children of Krypton. So, in this kind of 2-episode arc here of Superman first appearing on Supergirl as he did last week, we get him back in this episode this week, which would be hence the title. I don't know, obviously, what's going to happen. Maybe it has something to do with Lena Luthor again, and Cadmus creating Metallo. Not necessarily that there's a connection there, there could be, but I don't know if we get Metallo back in this episode or that's kind of something later for the season, but that was an awesome thing that happened last week. And obviously last week, the big thing that happened was Jimmy and Kara breaking up. It was Superman appearing on the show. That was awesome. We got another version of Superman on TV, the first since, Tom Welling in Smallville, which was really cool, and I loved it. I thought he was great. I know he got some some flack, not really Tyler Hoechlin himself, but the character of that he's too golden era, silver age era kind of Superman. He's too much like Christopher Reeves. I've seen a lot of people say things like that on Twitter, on YouTube, Facebook, a whole bunch of places. And I disagree. I thought he was classic Superman the way he's supposed to be. That doesn't mean I hate Henry Cavill's Superman. It's nice to see Superman shouldn't be as depressed as Henry Cavill's Superman is. And I understand there's a whole argument that I don't want to get into that, that's how the world will perceive him and everything else. It is. But he's still supposed to be the symbol of hope, and it was nice to see that here. And he's still not Mr. Perfect. He still has a problem there with John having kryptonite and everything else I think we're going to further explore. But I think the best moments were between him and Kara. They felt like family together, especially when he was talking to her about her relationship with Jimmy. So I love those moments. That was great. Obviously, Jimmy and Kara broke up. Not really sad about that. I thought it was kind of the weak part of the show. It was very awkward how they kind of, in the show's timeline, it's like a 2-day period from when they solidify that they're going out and then they break up. It's basically probably like a few days period from when they first kissed and then. So that was weird, but I'm not going to really complain about it. We also had Wynn join the DEO officially, which was funny. He wondering if he got, he's going to get paid the same salary as he did at Catco. Seems like we're going to spend a lot less time at Catco now that Kara is not with James, but she also has her own job as a reporter, so she can be out and about a little bit more. And it looks like Calissa Flockhart, who plays Cat Grant, seemingly it's teased there that maybe she's not going to be around. I've heard rumors, I don't know if anything's true, that maybe she's not a series regular this season since the show moved to Vancouver and she lives in LA and it's not there anymore. But we'll have to see that going forward there. We got some cool scenes of Alex kicking ass, and I'm just really excited for this episode, guys. So, without further ado, here we go. You can tell now that it's shot in Vancouver a little bit that those look like similar streets and things like that the Flash shoots on. Is that... No. That's cool. They obviously could hear the alarm of some kind of bank getting robbed across town. You would think there would be less crime in a city with a super-powered being like Supergirl. Now you add Superman in there. Come on, guys. Rob another city. Yeah, because that's going to work, guys. Come on. Do you know who these people are?
See, now, if the bullets don't work, right? Why the punching?
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense, criminal. It's just... Oh, God, that's funny.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Exactly how bad did you want this job, Mr. Shutt?
He'll be leaving town soon, I'm sure. So until then...
She's loving it.
The armory, shooting at something.
John, just let it go. Let her enjoy it. Oh, he has the heart. Cool. He's got the kryptonite heart.
What did you do to me?
Made you a weapon. Cool.
We were just having...
Hashtag too much fun. Yeah, we know.
Supplies, which look, I did...
I see that.
I got a reporter pass.
She's such a nerd.
Yeah.
Snap a car, meet
Oh! Snap Ricard's in this show?
Famous
Famous DC reporter.
The best journalists I've ever known.
Yes, he is.
Alcohol doesn't affect Kryptonians, but he still won't drink and fly. He's a big nerd. Isn't a fact.
That's Metallo attracting Supergirl and Superman. Totally is. Well, good luck, guys. This is a living weapon. Oh, shit. Damn. Does look pretty good. I like that introduction to Metallo. Hopefully that continues. But Snapper Carr, you always saw him in kind of, correct me if I'm wrong down below, in like DC anime and everything, it'd be like Snapper Carr reporting as like the Justice League is, you know, taking care of business against Darkseid or something in the background. They don't look exactly the same here. It seems like this Snapper Carr kind of hates his life a little bit more, and he's balding and everything else. But it's cool to see the characters show up here. Cool. It's nice to see that they have someone go against them that could really mess them up. Oh, cool. Maybe we'll get the full skeleton version of him. The robot version. That's what I want to see.
At least you see your death coming.
Damn, Superman hit him real far away. Oh, they both take equal punishment here, and it looks like that's a very Death of Superman-like shot. But I guess it affected her more.
When I told you to, you would have been helpless when Nan and Astra launched Myriad.
Also true.
Or have you forgotten it was the Force even the Man of Steel couldn't defeat?
Oh shit.
Martian and Manhunter are gonna fight. This is terrible.
Awesome. Kind of awesome.
Protecting the people of Earth. If you cared about Kara at all, watch what you say. Or what?
Oh shit. Ooh. What is this? Why would you announce what you are out to people? Yeah. That's very interesting, announcing it publicly.
Well,
Yep, you gotta come back there, you're too nice.
Carr is refusing to.
Yeah, she's not gonna help you out, you gotta fight your way in there.
New seas out there that I have to go conquer.
I figured that was the justification that they were gonna give for her leaving.
I need to dive.
And she'll probably come back every few episodes. But, Carr, you gotta establish yourself, man. You gotta go out there and show Snapper Carr was boss. Who thought she would have said that in the first episode of the series? They've grown so much together.
Oh, Kara.
Ooh, get Cat to cry.
You will rise to the occasion.
Almost. That was really nice. They've grown so much together. That is so nice.
Ready to do your part to save the world?
They're gonna make him into Metallo too? What weapon is he becoming?
They won't even know what hit them.
God damn, Cadmus being ruthless as they should be. But that was a great conversation between Cat and Kara, man. I'm really gonna miss Cat. Alright, to the Fortress of Solitude for Martian Manhunter and Superman. First time they're on screen together. That's cool.
Your parents?
Oh, awesome.
Because I will not be caught unprepared again.
That's a fair reason, Clark.
It is what it is.
You should see John's reason. That's fair. That's a fair reason.
We'll figure out a way to find Metallo soon.
Hopefully they didn't kill each other.
Hurt each other while they're figuring it out.
Yep.
Away? I thought it would be good for you. You wouldn't have to
No,
take
she
care of
loses
me
her
anymore.
sister.
What about us taking care of each other?
Exactly. Who's watching her back?
To be me.
So does he understand that he abandoned you with us?
True.
Do you?
That is true. He left her there for all those years. Even though he wanted her to grow as her own person, he still did leave her there. The conversation between Alex and Kara. Kara's got to not be so afraid of change. She's got to watch Alex's back. Kara can handle himself. There you go. Good teamwork. Not going to be that easy.
You make a move, we'll incinerate you.
Oh, shit.
But you'll still be here with me. And if you're here with me, then you're not in Metropolis with him.
Alright, so some kind of other weapon Cadmus put into Metropolis. Hey, that's a girl in a Supergirl outfit. That's cool. Oh, so another Metallo. That's cool a little bit, but it kind of takes away the uniqueness of John. Alright, well, you're going to be just as weak around that one as around him, except he's going to be the one that stays around more. They're going to be able to defeat this one in this episode. But that was a great conversation between Alex and Kara, and you forget sometimes how much Alex has really given up in her life to keep Kara's secret, to keep her safe, and all the things she's done. And just because you're afraid of a little change, and you can go visit Clark, you have superpowers. You can visit him more often, but he did leave you there all those years with the Danvers. You need to watch if Alex is back first. She's just a human being, and she's your sister.
You date more often than I do.
That's cold. That's cold.
No.
Metallo's there. Well, shit.
Agent Danvers of the DEO. Nice to meet you. I'll tell your father you say hello.
Well, this is an awkward conversation. God damn, man. Wow, so this guy was, he was willing, I guess, to die for Cadmus, or he didn't know he was going to die for Cadmus, but they just straight up shot him. Cadmus being, ruthless as usual there. Come on, Kara, you have to get to Alex.
You know I won't.
She's in danger.
My father.
I'm gonna kill you.
For you.
Yeah, you are.
Well,
All taken on her
I
ass.
suppose that settles out then.
Oh, shit. Kara! Get there before they turn her into some weird experiment. There you go. Alex. Screw it, you don't even need Kara. Who needs her? Lose her anyway. Get out of there, Alex. That's my girl. Look at her. Look at her kick ass, people. There you go. If only she can meet Melinda. Break his arm. Hey, about goddamn time, Kara. That was cool. About damn time you saved her.
I see you.
She had it, though.
You think? Nice job, Mr. Sharp. You should be. I love it.
He wants Superman's approval there.
Are you crying?
Yeah, he is.
No. So what's the plan?
So these Metallos can fly too. Alright. I guess that's equipped in their suits. They can hit somewhere other than the center of the chest though. Nice, that was a cool shot. It had a fist coming right at the camera. Because they should be weaker even just in the presence of the kryptonite. Ah, and now the device is destroyed. Great. Get up, Superman. What a way. Oh! Interesting. John has been there. So that early in the episode when that girl's running by, that was John watching out the whole time. Very interesting. Alright, Alex, you're the backup here. There you go. Bring back the tech suit from the season finale last year. What is that kryptonite sword? Kick ass, ladies. Oh, this is awesome. The boys fighting one Metallo, the ladies fighting another one. You couldn't ask for much more. Hit him with that heat vision. Hit him. Ooh, John. Coming in clutch with grabbing his kryptonite heart. Cool. Good teamwork. I highly doubt John Corbin is dead.
Then it begins.
Yeah, I don't think Cadmus is really afraid. This is only one of many inventions that they have. Many weapons that they have, and I doubt that's the end of Metallo as well. If it honestly is, that is such a waste of one of my favorite Superman villains, that you build him up and then you take him away in basically one episode.
She gave me her job while she's away.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Step up, right?
That's a big step up. That's it. It's gonna, again, like you had a tough relationship with Kat,
Do I get a chair?
No.
it's gonna take a little bit of time for Snapper to accept you as well. And for you to fit into this role as a reporter. All the kryptonite that you know about, John.
Gonna miss you, Wen. No.
He'll come back. I think he was only scheduled for 2 episodes, but he'll come back based on the reception. Oh, we all love each other. Yes. Take the kryptonite, store it at the Fortress of Solitude. Hope that Cadmus doesn't have any more. Maybe John and him could coexist now. Ah, it's alive! Oh shit. Maybe he's not bad, he's just freaking out because he just basically came out of a coma. Let's not jump to conclusions yet. Alright guys, so that was my reaction to Supergirl, Season 2, Episode 2, The Last Children of Krypton. So this was a good episode, it was an enjoyable episode. It was not as great, I would say, as the premiere. And that's not to say just because, that was the first time Superman's been on TV since Smallville. It was just that until we got that great fight sequence where it's taking place in National City and Metropolis, there wasn't a huge amount of action or even meaningful, hugely meaningful exposition going on in the episode. But it was a really good episode, really fun to see Superman again. I think with the reception of Superman here, and Supergirl beat out even the Flash on all CW shows last week with the highest ratings, I don't think it's going to be a case where, let's say the show, theoretically goes 5 seasons. I don't think it's going to be, Superman was only in these first 2 episodes and he's never showing up again and we're back to IM chat. I think he will be back at some point. You cast the person for a reason. You built the character in a specific way for a reason. And I definitely think he will be back. We will see Supergirl and Superman on screen again, especially when a huge threat comes up, and I definitely think that is going to happen going forward. We had some good moments in this episode, some good action. I would say if we're going into the main points of the episode, I would say we have Kara's changing life. Then I would say we have the Metallo and Cadmus. I would say Cat leaving, and then I would say Superman and Martian Manhunter. So starting at the first main point, Kara's life is significantly changing, not only as Supergirl, but as Kara Danvers. She's losing Cat Grant. She just broke up with James. She is losing Clark again. He's moving back to, Metropolis, which was inevitable, but, it's really hitting her. And she's just trying to adjust to all these changes in her life, that she's now a reporter in a new job, in a new position, where she works with a cool DC lore shout out that I'll discuss later in Snapper Car, and everything else. So it's hard on her. And yeah, she's kind of trying to tuck tail and run, but you can understand that as a person who personally doesn't like too much change, I get her not wanting that, but also it's not a good idea to run away. Her idea of running away to Metropolis and, Alex, it'll be better for you because there won't be any threats here, which is a bunch of BS, and I won't make you basically feel lesser and be interfering with your job, which wasn't really the case. Alex was more like, you guys already took care of it? Yeah, maybe a little disappointed, but not. She's still proud of Kara. She's not upset the job got done, and that's a bunch of BS by, Kara trying to, justify why she should leave. And I think Alex brought up a lot of great points, and that, one of the best scenes in the episode there, and this is always the best part of the show, is the relationship between these two sisters. It's how much Alex sacrificed for Kara. Now, again, Alex, not all just because of Kara, you sacrificing it. Even if it was influenced by Kara, you still turned into a party girl and ruined your own life in some ways until John pulled you out of that fire. So it's not all on Kara there, so don't blame it all on her, but she did sacrifice a lot of things for Kara in joining the DEO for the most part, or, John recruiting her. Protecting her whole life and making sure to keep her powers and not reveal herself, and watching her back even though, she didn't need it. It's not like someone could hurt her, but having her adjust and making her feel like family. And I think, Kara has to realize how much Alex has sacrificed, how much Alex has put her life on the line to save her. And I'm not saying Kara hasn't. I'm just saying that they're a team, and Kara was trying to abandon that. I'll watch Superman's back. Yeah, but who's watching, like I said in the episode, who's watching Alex's back? That's what you're there for. He had Jimmy, obviously, James, but he still has Lois over there. And he still has friends in Perry White and probably a whole bunch of other friends. Clark has allies. Alex needs Supergirl. He needs, she needs her sister. And I thought they had a great conversation there. But, you can understand that not only from Kara's perspective that, with Superman leaving, obviously a big mentor in Cat, and I'll touch on a little bit later, but, with Cat Grant leaving, but that was a major mentor for him. Cat and Kara have grown so much on each other, and they've really affected each other. We've only really seen Cat cry maybe once, I think, when she was, Cat got to meet her son really again for the first time, and assumingly a long time when Kara arranged that. So she almost cried a little bit there, but they have, I guess, not that Cat's super old, but they kind of have this mother-daughter relationship where it's Cat is willing to, put herself on the line for Kara, and Supergirl for that matter, is willing to help her out and see the goodness in her and see that she could be a great reporter, but she's also not going to hand her things, and she's not going to go, hey, Snapper, you need to, I said that she's a reporter. She's like, go down there and make yourself a reporter. Show, him why you're so great. And I love that, and I thought that was a great scene. I think, Kara has to take the plunge not only into being a reporter, into this new life, and she can't run away from it. And I think that's what the beginning of the season so far has been about, is about all these changes, and I think Kara's going to have to, get used to that. Also, as Supergirl, even when Supergirl threw Cat off a goddamn building, Cat still accepted her. Cat built the Supergirl image. Cat gave a lot of advice to Supergirl, which I don't know how she doesn't know that the two of them are the same, but maybe she does and she just doesn't say anything. But I understand the whole clone thing last season with Martian Manhunter, but still, she's got to know. Or maybe security cameras, seeing Kara immediately change and fly down right there just after she used Supergirl. But anyway, she's losing that mentor as Supergirl as well, and I think, that really affects her, and I can understand losing Cat, losing someone that's like you in Clark, but you need to stay, and, having a new job and everything else, but you need to stay who you are and where you are and protect the ones you love in your city. Going to the second point, I would say the Metallos, the negative aspect of it is they kind of watered down Metallo in a little bit away, because they have two different Metallos, and I understand it's to create, two different set pieces in two different cities, and, to have kind of Superman go against, one, and Supergirl and Alex go against the other, and Martian Manhunter obviously helping out Superman. But we saw Metallo fight both Kryptonians on the bridge there. You can make scenes like that. We've seen in comic books or other animated, series, Metallo has gone against multiple members of Justice League or anything else. And I, hopefully, obviously he'll come back. I don't think he's dead at the end of this episode. I think that'd be really stupid that basically for one episode as Metallo, and then you get rid of someone in great Superman lore and DC lore, one of my favorite characters. I think that'd be absolutely ridiculous. But he, the positives obviously of it were it looked really good with the kryptonite heart and everything, and the cybernetic eyes for TV, and the robotic hand, the exoskeleton. I think it looked really good. We can get the full, obviously, exoskeleton maybe at some point, but I think it looked really good. I don't know why that it seemingly supposedly being around that large of kryptonite, especially, and just being around Metallo should make them weak. It didn't seem like it. It was only when he actually shot the blast out. So that's a little nitpick there. But maybe if I go back and watch it, I'll disagree with myself. But I like that. Also, obviously, the big news of it is not only Cadmus. We knew they were behind this from last episode, but they went public. And obviously, they didn't reveal who they were. They did a very anonymous-like message. But, historically, basically, in comic books, in the great arc in the Justice League animated series, Cadmus is a secret government organization. They don't really come to the forefront. So I think it's an interesting risk for the show and for them in the show to actually come out. And obviously, I think that also signifies, people like General Lane last season, even though he's now more on Supergirl's side, that there are people in the government that do not like aliens, that are against aliens and extraterrestrials and Kryptonians, and there are people in the FBI and the CIA and the government, maybe running all the way up to the female president, that probably back Cadmus, and disagree with this alien presence. And I think we're going to see a lot of that going forward. So I think that's why they maybe felt compelled or felt confident enough that they can go public. But I think it is a risk because operating in the shadows would be so much easier for them to do. But I think they want to create kind of this sediment, basically, behind aliens, kind of Batman v Superman, like, this is our planet and you're a false god, and they mention, them as gods in this episode, Cadmus did. So I think they want to create propaganda against the Kryptonians and have the people rise up against them, and I think that's probably part of the reason. But I think that's an interesting storyline going forward. I want to see what they did to Jeremiah, what other creations they had, what they turned him into, and hopefully bringing back Metallo. A third point here with Cat leaving. So obviously, probably with the actress Calista Flockhart living in LA, we discussed last week, and the show moving to Vancouver now is probably the main reason why they're writing her off as maybe more of a recurring guest star instead of a series regular, which I understand. She's not an old woman, but I can get having a life and she's married and not wanting, LA is very different than Vancouver. So I understand that people would say, oh, she's an actress or an actor, suck it up, that's your job. But I think she's going to come back enough, and I think that the purpose of it is to give other characters kind of higher positions, more screen time. And I love Kat. I think she's one of the best parts of the show, and she's super funny and hilarious and ruthless, but she's also endearing and emotional at times. And I'm going to miss her dearly, but she is going to come back. I think she's going to communicate with Kara kind of like Superman, like last season, over IM chat and little phone calls and things like that. And it's also going to give more screen time for characters like James, who now we're going to, who was basically known before this as just the best friend of Superman, and he loved Kara. Now, it's, he's the head, temporary CEO here of Catco, and I think we're going to explore more of that interesting dynamic of him being Kara's boss, and probably conflict that's going to be created there, especially given their history. But, I guess it makes sense. He's a Pulitzer, prize-winning photographer. He probably has done a little bit of reporting. He's from the Daily Planet. He has a good track record. I don't know if the Catco, board agrees with it. We've seen them last season. Maybe that will be a point of contention going forward in these episodes, but maybe I shouldn't think that too high in a superhero show. But he is now the head there. We haven't seen Lucy so far in this season. She was kind of the co-head of the DEO at the end of last season, so I don't know if she just hasn't been back as well as Maxwell Lord, just because we've had Superman and a whole bunch of other things going on, introducing Cadmus and stuff like that. So hopefully, we see them going forward. Obviously, if it's been confirmed, don't let me know in the comments below. But if you don't know, kind of theorize how you think they're going to come back and if they're going to come back in the show. But I'm going to miss Cat Grant, but I think she's going to come back every, few episodes. She's going to explore more about herself, and maybe later on in the series and later on in the season, she could come back to being basically a series regular. But she had great conversations, obviously, with Kara, and, I'm going to miss that, but I think it's going to make Kara a stronger character as well. And, not relying on Kat. And the fourth main point going into Superman and Martian Manhunter. So obviously they've had this big contention since last week that we've seen over Kryptonite. Since Operation Emerald, like 10 or 11 years ago, when they discovered that Kryptonite crashed down and John named it and all this other stuff, that I see both points, but I think Superman needs to understand, and I like how they reference in this episode that in the show's time, it's been 2 weeks. I think he needs to realize that, John goes, hey, look at all these, myriad and all these rogue Kryptonians that are going around that you are even powerless against. The Man of Steel. I'm not supposed to have Kryptonite for the potential Kryptonite bomb that, Maxwell Lord was going to build. Or how about when your cousin, he didn't mention it, but how about when your cousin went crazy? Or Bizarro, or all these other threats. I think it's necessary to have Kryptonite. And I think Superman, is being a little stubborn. And we've seen Superman give Batman, not like he hasn't had it, had enough of it, but he gave Batman, Kryptonite and saying, hey, listen, if I ever go rogue, please use this to stop me. So I think it's weird a little bit in the interpretation of this Superman that he's so against it. But we did see them kind of come to an agreement. They work together, obviously. They watch each other's back. And Superman takes all the Kryptonite to, assumingly, the Fortress of Solitude. But I don't understand it. I get it that there was a leak at the DEO, and they discovered that, and, that's how Cadmus got Kryptonite and created Metallos and everything else, and it could spread further and further. I get both sides, but I do agree with John, and maybe it's because I'm a human being. If there's any aliens out there watching this, let me know your position on it. But maybe it's just because I think they need self-defense based on, look what happened last season. So it's interesting to see their relationship going forward. Hopefully we'll get kind of a mock Justice League. It's nice that they're kind of being friendly again. Even if it's just for Supergirl's sake, but now that they've resolved this issue, but I do believe that John might have a little bit of Kryptonite, or later in the season, that could backfire, him having no Kryptonite, and that could be a point of contention when Superman probably eventually comes back. Other little points in this episode, obviously, Alex having great scenes with Kara. I think we haven't seen Winn do, a lot. You know, we got a little great scene there of Alex being upset about what Kara just said, and her talking to Wynn about it and being a little kind of, you know, moody and aggressive about it, understandably so. And Wynn, you know, going back to his time in foster home, obviously his dad being a murderer, and I don't remember what happened to his mom, you know, from episode 10 last season, whatever. So did she abandon him and she died? Let me know that down below if you know and you remember. But he went into the foster care system and he was, you know, taught to be grateful for what he had. And I think that was a good little scene there. You know, I like kind of this budding relationship, friendship between Alex and Wynn. And, you know, those were cool little scenes there. I think the other big, you know, little scene, if that's, you know, kind of, you know, going against each other, you know, saying that there, it's kind of ironic. But who is this other Kryptonian? Is he good? Is he bad? I think at the last scene there, I don't think he's bad. I think he's been frozen in a coma for many years. He just kind of freaked out and he choked her because maybe she's a threat. He doesn't know what's going on. But who is he? If it's been confirmed, don't let me know. But theorize if you don't know, like me down below. Who is this Kryptonian? Where does he stand? What is his story? I think that's going to be a super interesting plot point, obviously, the season going forward. And yeah, and that's my thoughts here, guys, on Supergirl, Season 2, Episode 2, The Last Children of Krypton. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you like the episode? Did you not like the episode? Is there any Easter eggs I missed? What do you think of the great scenes between Kara and Alex, Kara and Kat? How long do you think it's going to take Kat, you know, to come back? Are you sad to see her go? I would assume so. And what do you think about James taking her temporary CEO position? What do you think of Superman, this interpretation of Superman in these first 2 episodes? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What were your favorite moments of him? When do you think he's going to come back, if you think he's going to come back? What do you think about Cadmus going public and what that means for this season's arc going forward? Do you think Metallo will come back? Did you like Metallo here in this episode? What also did you think, you know, of Wynn's little scene there with Alex and the whole argument? Where do you stand? Do you stand with Superman? Do you stand with John? Do you stand somewhere in the middle on the whole Kryptonite issue? And do you think that's going to come back at some point, maybe backfiring on the DEO, that they don't have any Kryptonite? And any other thoughts you have on the episode, let me know them down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends if you be so kind. And until next week, a Supergirl, guys. Thanks for watching.